everybody. I am spiritual medium and psychotherapist and author Kellee White, and I am not with James Van Praagh tonight. I'm with Janelle Campbell, the wonderful medium from Australia. Hi, Janelle. Welcome.
Hi, Kelly. It's an absolute pleasure and honor to be here. And of course, we love James, and he knows that. But I'm here today, lovey.
I'm so glad you are. That you're here with us tonight. James, everybody, is out on holiday. He's getting some much deserved rest.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining me, my dear friend. I mean, Janelle and I have traveled around the world together, and we love working together. And we actually have, it's so funny, we actually have an upcoming class on angels on December 6th. Yeah. And so what we thought about is the following. We thought if anybody would like to sign up for our interactive Zoom event, we'll be talking about it tonight. But I thought it was important the day before the election in the United States that we really bring in some peace and talk about the angels. So I thought I would set the stage, Janelle, with talking a little bit about the astrology of this month of November.
Yeah, most needed, Kel.
It's most needed. I mean, this is a very interesting month. We're here in November. And in Vedic astrology, we just had a new moon in Libra. And Libra is about balance. And this new moon was off balance. And so what we really want to get to is a place internally of peace and harmony. Because on November 3rd, which was yesterday, Mars, which in Vedic astrology is in Cancer, which it doesn't like being in Cancer. Cancer it gets very frustrated. It's debilitated in Cancer. It's weak and it gets frustrated and angry. And it's opposing Pluto. And Pluto is in Capricorn in Vedic astrology. And Pluto is a higher octave of Mars. And so it means transformation. And with this opposition, Janelle, this opposition lasts for 6 months, and it started yesterday. I know, 6 months.
Wow.
And yesterday was an exact aspect to it. There'll be 3 exact aspects. One's in January and one's in April. But for 6 months, I mean, put your seatbelt on. This is very intense energy. It's an opposition. They're opposed to one another. Wow. So this will be a time of great change, of great conflict, of transformational events. And because we have the United States election on November 5th, it will absolutely be, it will be a chaos time.
Tumultuous.
Tumultuous, absolutely. Cattywampus is what I was saying, but tumultuous is more really it. And also Saturn, which is the planet of karma and work and responsibility, it is still retrograde until November 15th. So it will be retrograde during this period of time. And it's in Vedic astrology, it's in Aquarius. Aquarius is about humanity and the need for harmony. So whatever comes up for everybody right now, which is a lot of anxiety and being traumatized and all of these kind of things, we have to remember that we have to rise above all of this. We have to raise our vibration because November is an 11 month. And in numerology, I like to look at things in all ways.
I love that. Yeah,
I just love it. Number 11 is about connecting to your higher self, which we all can do. And it means to shift your consciousness. So we wouldn't be here on Earth at this time if we were not supposed to be having these experiences. Right. These are the experiences that we are having. And that's an Eckhart Tolle quote, because we're supposed to be learning and growing from all of this. We may learn about compassion. We may learn about love and kindness, forgiveness. I mean, we are going to be put into many different positions here. So this is just a reminder that as an 11, when November is an 11 month, and 11 looks like they're separate. They're 2 ones. It looks like it's a separate, like we're all separate. But in actuality, if you add 1 and 1 up, it equals 2, which means together. We are all one. We are all together. And the number 11 in the positive light means to transform. It means passion. It means insightful. And most importantly, it means a spiritual awakening. In the negative, it brings conflict and duality. And
And isn't it doing all of the above, you know?
Oh,
it's like we're the way showers in a funny kind of fashion,
yes.
you know, like we're showing the way forward. And even by doing this, we're showing ourselves in truth and harmony.
Absolutely, in truth. Well, you know, it's so interesting because for the last 7 days in a row, out of the blue, somebody will either send me something on Archangel Metatron. It's the damnedest thing I've seen. All of a sudden, something will pop up, Archangel Metatron. I'm like, what? So 7 days in a row, to the point where on Saturday, I was the keynote speaker for All Souls Weekend because John Holland, who was supposed to be the keynote speaker, ended up with COVID. So they asked me to take over. So I got to do that. And it was really fun for me, and it was great. It was a wonderful experience. But during the experience, somebody actually raised their hand and they said, well, can you tell me about Archangel Metatron? I said, what is going on here? Well, it turns out, because we're going to be doing a class on angels and archangels coming up on December 6th. But it turns out that Archangel Metatron is about spiritual awakening and spiritual consciousness and raising your consciousness. So now I see why he was trying to help us to get there. You know, because this is a really important thing. We have to remember, you know, that there are angels everywhere. And so what is your experience, Janelle, with angels?
Well, I remember from the time I was a little girl and, you know, like 4 or 5 years of age. And I don't know how I knew about angels, but I somehow knew about angels. I didn't have a religious background. My family wasn't particularly religious, but old school, you know, Christian. But I would go outside and play in the yard as one did. And I would lay in the grass and I just look up at the sky and those puffy white. There was only certain times that I would go out because in my mind it was because these lovely white fluffy clouds were out there and blue sky, all this sort of thing. And I would wait for the angels to speak. And I have the clearest memory of it. And I would hear suddenly, and I'd have to be very patient.
Yeah.
And I think I learned patience at that time. But it was just the most gorgeous memory that I had. And occasionally a lady angel would just speak from the heavens, and it was just the most extraordinary thing.
Oh my gosh, do you remember any of the messages that you were given?
No, because they were kind of muted, soft voices, but loud enough that you could hear a female speak, you know, or say something. And I just thought that was the magic of angels. You know, I wouldn't be able to understand them, but they were kind of there knocking at the door. And I'd race inside to my mummy and say, Mummy, the angel said whatever the angel said, and they're talking to me. And she would smile and say, oh, that's nice to you. I'll move along. But that was my first memory of angels, or the thought of angels coming into my consciousness. I do have a very lovely end to that story, but occasionally a man angel would speak, and that was like the most extraordinary thing. But I grew up with that thought, you know, and it was quite lovely and very special and innocent. And then I didn't hear the angels like that for a long time, but I always carried the knowing of the angels. And I was, when, you know, let's say fast forward to my early 20s, and I was just a receptionist or something for a city office and taking the banking down and all this stuff. And the angel spoke again. I thought, I just stopped dead in my tracks as I was walking down the street. And you're going to hate me at the end of this story. And I just stood there in absolute shock. And it was exactly the same sort of voice and whatever. And I listened for so many minutes, and then I heard it again. And I realized, much to my great disappointment, that it was an office block intercom system coming out over the air.
Oh my God. So then
now, I know this is not the gist of why we're doing angels, but I was so disappointed. But it was my angels. They were speaking to me. And then I remembered that up the road from where we lived when I was little, there was a big business, and it was obviously the lady in the office speaking over the intercom or whatever. But it was the most gorgeous thing. And of course, I had memories of that always. And I went to a Christian school and girls' school, and of course, angels and religion and God and Jesus are all in that, all mixed in that.
Yeah.
And I had a great love for sacred music. And because I sang and whatever, sacred music, and especially with angels, and God said the angel set forth, all of this sort of stuff. And so it was kind of in my blood, if you like. And but I could feel them occasionally kind of pushing me along, edging me closer to a spiritual aspect of myself that I didn't really understand at the time, but it was always leading in that direction. And it's very beautiful. So, then I got a little jaded with the whole thing, after Doreen's virtuous exit from the whole deal.
This
Love
is
and
true.
life, girls. And but anyway, and then you go off. You think, oh right, and then I didn't worry about it for some time, or didn't think about it for a while. And but they were always there. When I think about it, they were kind of egging me on. But then I was a medium, and I taught mediumship. So we deal in other things, don't we?
Right.
So you kind of forget about the angels, but they're there, and it's really amazing.
I think people definitely need to know that they're there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for me, I had a traumatic brain injury, as you know, in the year 2000. And prior to that, I had several angel experiences, and I write about those in my book, but I don't know, I still wasn't quite there, although I knew they existed. But then what happened is when I had my head injury and I was living, like physically I was on earth, but the other half of me, if you will, was on the other side. So it was a strange way to be for a couple of years there, a good solid year. But everywhere I would look, I would see somebody and they'd have their loved one next to them. Then I see a spirit guide. They were always different, the spirit guide. And then there was an angel or two by them. Wow. So I can tell you, if there's a myth that angels don't exist, they exist. They exist. Yeah. And sometimes an angel will come to you as a physical being. In other words, I had somebody over the weekend tell me that shared this experience with me. She said she had been worried about her child. Her child had a lot of problems and she was really worried about him. And so she was in her house and all of a sudden there was a knock on the door. And the policeman and a policewoman knocked on her door and she's like, "Is everything okay?" And the policewoman looked at her and said, "Yes, we just want you to know not to worry. Everything's going to be okay. You don't have anything to worry about." And she said, "What? You mean about my child?" "Yes, you have nothing to worry about." And then she thought that was the strangest thing. And so they turn around and they drive off. Yeah. And she realized that it was an angel telling her not to worry. Right. So things like that happen. They could appear as a physical being and then turn around and they are gone. Yeah.
They can kind of manipulate the consciousness as well, and send people in place, and to do the physical work, Yes.
Well, we've all heard of stories where people are in a car and it goes over and they should have died. And then somebody is there to get them out of the car. Those are angels that come in to do that work.
That is extraordinary. And I mean, we can talk to angels all the time, and there are billions of them out there. Let's not be limited by anything.
Right.
I think the way we've been conditioned over the centuries or whatever, we're limited. We're expected to walk in a certain way and do a certain thing, but we're coming out of that now. We are our consciousness. We're lifting that assault, if you like.
Totally.
So we kind of take that thought of being limitless and conscious beings and most extraordinary aspects of what it is to be human and spirit and a member of the conscious family, I guess, conscious group. But anyway, so I think, when we think about angels and try to bring them into our work or our understanding, if we're not there yet, think of it in broader terms, not the old religious connotations, that they must look a certain way or act a certain way, or it's only religious people that see angels or experience or know what angels even are,
Well, here's a question for you. Karen asked, can an angel be a relative?
Well, I think in as much as they can be your guide, like we all know when a loved one passes, they can step forward and do some work with you over the rest. So yes, I don't see why not. But
I think they're different, though. I think they're different because angels are a different species. Angels are completely different than I would think is what you said, is that they can definitely be a guide. A loved one passes, can be your guide. I call everybody my angel, but it doesn't mean that they're from the angelic realm.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. It's very different. Very different.
It's very different. I mean, there's a difference between a guardian angel. We'll talk about even guardian angels and spirit guides, because people have asked me, what is the difference? And there is a difference. They're not the same thing. So a guardian angel is primarily focused on protection and safeguarding a person from harm, often considered a divine being sent to watch over you, while a spirit guide offers more personalized guidance and wisdom on your life path. They can be a deceased loved one potentially, but often we choose our guide or our guides before we incarnate to help us with what our goal on earth is. And angels it's just a different, it's a different energy.
I'm not sure that angels had a life incarnation. I don't believe that they've had a life on the earth plane, or anywhere.
With that, I agree with that. But what they were saying, what I heard, is that there were two angels that have had archangels, I should say.
Yes.
That had life on earth, and one of them was Metatron, who was apparently Enoch. Who God takes from the Bible. He's in the Bible.
That takes us somewhere else, doesn't it?
Somewhere else, absolutely. And then Archangel Michael is said to have had a lifetime on here. But it's different. It's a different energy. It's the energy of love and compassion and strength and consciousness.
Protection.
So Laura Crum says, do we have a specific angel for each one of us? Yes.
Yes. And also we have a specific guide for each and every one of us.
Absolutely.
And I like to bring the guides in because they do a lot of work.
Please. I do.
And I think the angels, not the archangels, but I don't want to
call a broader sense.
Regular angels.
Because there's a difference. Absolutely, there's a difference.
There is a difference. And so I think
it's a higher order. Archangels have a higher order. Arch means actually the higher order of them.
Yeah. And I think that all the angels, not the archangels, they can help with specific tasks. You can call on them to do something. Help me with this today, please.
Yes.
And they will help you with the menial. They will help you with the humdrum. They will help you with, I have the parking angels, and I know that sounds sacrosanct, but I have the parking angels.
We all have the parking angels.
I know, bless them. And they work, they're happy, so we all do it.
I have particular parking angels in Los Angeles.
They're there. So call on them.
Call on them. How do angels help us heal, Janelle?
Well, I think angels are healing anyway. So I often in my prayers, I'll ask for the healing guidance of an angel. And I don't really put it out there, I want a certain angel, archangel to work with me.
Right.
I trust that the right one will start working. And if I ask for that healing, to allow their form to kind of capture my imagination and lift me up, and perhaps control the energetic force that's making me fearful or diseased or whatever it might be. And I can I'm sure you're the same, Kel. You feel the frequency come in straight away. You feel the vibration and you feel it lifting and advancing your thought. They can advance civilizations. They can offer healing to the planet, and God only knows we need it. And within all of that, I envisage that in my prayers or in my thoughts in that space and time, if that makes any sense.
Well, it's interesting. I don't know if you've had this experience, but for the past month, at least once a week, I have had dreams of legions of angels coming onto the planet. So what are your thoughts of more angels now? And I have chills as I say that.
Yeah, I do too.
Right? There's as mediums, we feel all this energy. It doesn't matter that you're 10,000 miles away from me.
It's just happened. They're here, Kelly, and everyone. They really are here. They're working toward an optimum outcome, a positive step. But of course, it takes a lot of groundwork and ground cover. But I feel they're gathered around the planet right now. I really do. And with all the turmoil, especially.
Yeah, especially. I think the legions and legions of angels, which
I
are
agree
really
with you.
trying to bring us peace and comfort during the most challenging time. Listen, you come to Earth. Earth is a school of duality. It's a rough school. I mean, when you sign up for Earth, you're going to get a bit of everything. But the angels come in and they bring us this peace, this love. And also the archangels are here as well. And archangels are they're like the highest guides of angels. They each have a specific, and there's lots of archangels. But we can talk about Michael, who, by the way, if you are a spiritual adept, Archangel Michael is already working with you. If you just are in this path, he was the first one that I started to see with my physical eyes, actually. And you too, did you work with Archangel Michael?
Well, weirdly, as it turns out, I too have been having experiences for about the last month where they've
let's talk about that.
Well, they've really come into my consciousness, and I thought, oh, that's really strange. And of course, I knew, we have been, planning this for a little while now, of course. And suddenly, I think, well, all right, fellas, if I've got to do some work, so you've got to help, like show me the way. And but I started a new trance circle a few weeks ago.
Explain what trance circle means to people.
So trance is altered state. Like we're all working in a field of consciousness, if you like, and working in altered state. Mediums work in altered state all the time, whether we're mental mediums or what. It's still an altered state for us to capture the vibration or the essence of the spirit person that we're working with. But trance, an altered state, you move into a little bit of a deeper field, so there are various levels, of course. I'm not a deep trance medium, but I'm certainly in the wave. So we started off a circle. I wanted a trance circle that we work into the deeper folds of ourselves to capture the essence of guides and star beings and those who work with us. And it's a beautiful way to work. So anyway, we're there, and I started to open the circle for the first class, and I'm aware of angels everywhere. Now, never, ever in my life as a teacher and teaching this has there been an angel that I've been aware of. They have not come forward.
Okay. So this has been in the last month or so.
In the last month.
I knew it.
And so so there were angels everywhere, and my focus was like, whoa, and they're a really different feel, let me tell you. They feel. So when we work with this in the class in a few weeks' time, you're going to feel it differently. So anyway, so we're there, and angels, I could feel them around very strong, and we went around the class, and it's a trance speaking class. And we were channeling the words from the guides or whoever was coming close of a higher hierarchical order. And we got to another lady in the group, beautiful Glenda, and she spoke about angels. So the angel spoke through her, and he introduced himself. I am the angel with no name. and then offered his support or whatever it was. And I was fascinated with that because and we spoke about it later, of course, and she saw him with grey wings, which was really interesting. And
is it gray meaning wisdom or?
Well, she has to work that out. Yeah. And I think, that all comes in with it because there's a lot of symbolism in what we do. Yeah. And mine, and it was really interesting as the facilitator, I was given the symbol of a sword, which is Archangel Michael.
Yes.
And I was given the name, I distinctly heard the name Gabriel.
Oh, yeah, Gabriel's of communication and speaking.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So we protection of Michael and all the wisdom and amazing strength that comes with him. And we had communication and creativity working through me with Gabrielle. So I just thought that was the most amazing thing. But honestly, Kel, I've never had the experience of so many angels in the room. The energetic field in the room was different.
Did it feel calming and peaceful?
Yes, it did, to be honest. Yeah. And it wasn't busy. Mental mediumship is very busy, and we weren't doing mental mediumship, but there was a stillness in the sense of it. There was and a forthrightness. Like it was. There was purpose, there was true meaning, there was and laughter. There was a sense of playfulness with it as well. Yes. So they're not here just to be you're all whoever.
That's what spirit guides do. Spirit guides are more like, okay, now come on, here's the path. Stay on the path for God's sake. Yeah. Angels are different. It's a different vibration, different energy, totally.
Yeah. And we just have to ask, and they will be there, and I think, the archangels, they're here for a very specific reason. It's not just about helping you find a car space with them. It's about all the serious stuff.
It's serious stuff. If you need healing, Archangel Raphael, it's for healing. I'll tell you, I had some major surgery, as you may recall, and I've had for the last 2 years. What is she talking about now? But it was in 2022, 2 years. And before the last surgery, before my final surgery, I was praying to the angels, actually, to show me a sign when my doctor walked in. And because I was, and I was feeling really frightened. I mean, it was a lot to be in the hospital that much. Yes. And my doctor walked in, and I will never forget this as long as I live. He had this giant swatch of green, which is Archangel Raphael, and he had these giant clear wings behind him.
Wow!
And I went, okay, I'm in good hands.
You're okay. Yeah.
I'm going to be okay. Yeah, and then I just relaxed into it. And that's the thing about angels, especially at this really crazy ass time. If you're bringing in the angels, I swear, if you thinking about the angels, if you're talking about the angels, it raises your vibration, and you start to feel calm. I'll never forget. My daughter's, one of her best friends, had a baby. This was several years ago, and she had to go back to work, and somebody else was taking care of the baby. As a new mother, how frightening that is.
Yeah.
And I said to her, you start praying to the angels. You start praying to the angels and talking to the angels. She's going to be okay. And I'll never forget, her friend called me crying and said, I can't tell you how much peace that brought me. And her daughter was fine. Yeah. But they bring peace and comfort.
Really important. And that's in everyday life. When we're feeling a bit topsy-turvy or whatever it is, we can bring that sense into us and ask for their guidance and help. But really, it's just breathing into the heart space and allowing something else to come in rather than, the mess of the mind.
Yes.
It'll uplift you. It's incredible.
And it's uplifting. And really, during this period of time, we need angels more than ever. We need the uplifting. We need the positive. We need to connect to our higher selves. We need the love and peace and energy around us. Because if you think about it, Janelle, the energy in heaven, and I'm going to call it heaven because I like that word. The energy in heaven is that peace and
Peace.
calm.
Yeah. And silence. You know, there's a sense of
Yes.
silence and stillness that has to go through it. Weirdly, as things happen, I was just thinking before we came on camera, and they were here, and I asked for guidance and all this stuff, and they said, in the clearness of love, we rest there. And I thought that was the most beautiful thing, in the clearness of love, in the openness of love, in the space of love. That's where we are. And it
Oh,
was just, and
gosh.
even I've just become all gentle, and I can feel the essence of that as they spoke those words. And
That's
rest
beautiful.
assured, they're not mucking around on the planet right now. We're here. Oh, we're here in droves, watching out for you. Of course, we are not to interfere, but we stay close and wrap our arms around you. So, you know, they just bring that in. It's amazing.
That's amazing. And everybody has the ability to hear a message from an angel.
Everyone. And it's just clearing the mind of the guff, you know, and don't expect much the same as, you know, loved ones, I guess. You know, we expect to hear from a certain one, and they've got to say a certain thing, and they've got to look like this or that. You've got to get rid of all of that rubbish. so
Exactly.
You kind of just, you know, and don't have any expectation, and be open to the lightness and the sense of an angelic realm and an angelic being stepping forward, because most assuredly they will be there. They haven't forgotten you, and they will touch the heart of love, and that's where you'll find them, in that space.
You just reminded me of something. I was at an airport in Denver several years ago, and I was sitting at a bar, you know, like having like a cup of coffee, actually, waiting for my plane. And it was this crazy busy bar in Colorado, in Denver, the airport. And I was sitting there, and I was going to get my check because I had to leave. And this young, I don't know, 40-ish, younger, black, gay man said to me, "May I sit here? Because may I sit here?" And I said, "Sure, have a seat." Because I was thinking, I'm getting ready to leave. "Sure, have a seat." And he said to me, "Who heals the healers?"
Wow.
And I said, "Excuse me, who heals the healers?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Very good question. I don't know." And then he said the following to me. He said, "Although life has been really challenging, it will get better." And I said, I said, "Well, thank you for that nice message." And I looked up to the waitress who brought me my check. I put my card down, or whatever it was, and I went to say thank you, and he had already gone. So then I said to everybody in the bar that was crowded, "Did you see this guy? The young black guy, he was gay. He said, did you see him run out?" And they said, "No."
No, you're nuts. Yeah, amazing. Isn't that beautiful?
It was a beautiful experience, and I never forgot it. I never forget any of the angel experiences that I have. And I know everybody has had them. If they're the ones that, if your car, all of a sudden your car comes to a stop and another car goes right by, and it just misses you.
We've heard it all before. Right? You know, a very close friend of mine was involved in a terrible accident and should never have come out of it. And she said the car just was hit on a weird corner. It span like that. Time just stopped. There was no time. And you know, it's like, and she said, it's like your life does pass, you know, go past your eyes, or whatever that saying is. And she said she just felt the support of other beings. She didn't call them angels, but she felt the support and the understanding of other beings that guided their way through that really terrible situation. So
that's what they do.
That's what they do. The silent sentinels. Isn't that nice?
Silent sentinels. I love that.
Yeah, well, you can use it.
That's a good one. Somebody is asking, what angels do you call on for health and anxiety? And I'm going to go back with Archangel Raphael, because Archangel Raphael not only does health, but he does emotional health or mental health. If you're having that, he helps with all of that. And then call on angels. You don't have to have their exact name. Just say, "I need angels right now for my health." Like, I need angels for my anxiety. I need angels to help pull me out of the depression.
Exactly.
You will start to feel that energy.
Yeah, you do. They'll come to the call. And you know, in our course, I know that you're going to talk about the archangels and their archetypes and all the rest of it, which I'm really looking forward to be honest, Kel.
And not only that, I'm going to talk about all the different archangels. I'm going to talk about the different angels and the different archangels, but I'm going to also talk about the angels for your birthday.
Oh, wow. That'll be very
cool. You betcha, because there are certain months, for instance, this November, which is an 11 month. Do you know who rules November? It's a hint. His name starts with an M.
Metatron.
No, yeah, good Michael. It's Michael. But you know what?
Did I pass?
After I said it, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. It's No, it's Michael. It could have been Metatron, but it happens to be my Archangel Michael, who I just have such a deep relationship with forever. So during our class, you're also talk about what you're going to channel, because you guys, Janelle is an extraordinary channel. We did a class on the star beings. It was amazing. Intergalactic star beings,
whatever they were there.
It was amazing. She's such a great teacher, great medium, excellent teacher, and an excellent channeler. And I know you're going to be doing a meditation and channeling the angels, and they're preparing you for this.
They sure are, and they have been. And I actually just felt a great charge go through my back right then. And I want to laugh because they're laughing. And it's like, we've got you. We're supporting you. Yes, we're going to be doing a beautiful meditation in that class where we work with the divine calling of angel essence, angel energy, angel consciousness, and bringing that into your heart and your awareness, which is so important. And you can do that, and it will be easily done. So I'm looking forward to that. And all my meditations, doesn't matter where they are, they're all channeled anyway. And so when I work in a class, whatever the group is, and so especially for this class that we're doing, they will be guiding the way. It won't be coming from, of course, they've got to use my physicality, but it comes from the minds of them, if you like. And they gauge in that. They gauge where you're all at any point in time. And they will give support for that. And there'll be healing in that meditation, as well as support, understanding, all the amazing things. So I never know what's coming forward in a meditation, because I just have to surrender and give myself to that focus, to that consciousness, and that flow, if you like. And the other part, which is very nice, so the other part will be I will then later channel the essence of the angelic realm, and it will probably be, I don't want to put a limit on them, so but maybe a consciousness, a collective, but it will be the support from the angelic realms, the archangels, and those who gather to support us, through time. But perhaps you'll be able to ask a couple of little questions in there as well, Kelly.
Oh, I would love to. We did that the last time while you're channeling, and I get to ask a lot of questions.
Yeah,
and
so
it's really
and
quite
I have to
extraordinary.
surrender to that. I have to show you my vulnerability, and because you really are, you're just completely undressed at that point, and you just have to go with it. But it's very beautiful, and the sense that it gives me is most extraordinary. The healing and the support that it gives me, I can't describe that. It's
I feel the same way. Well, it's interesting. Somebody here is asking, and I heard this over the weekend. They said, the angels won't intervene unless we ask. And I actually don't believe that, because I did not believe in angels back in the day. I never believed in
I was the same.
I had my father was Jewish. My mother was Southern Baptist. I mean, that just canceled everything out. I had no belief in anything, none of it. And I had lots of help with angels, but I just didn't believe in any of it. And so the angels would keep showing up. So I know that they are going to intervene, whether you believe, whether you don't believe.
Totally.
They don't care. They don't care. But I would say, to make you feel better during this particular period of time that we're in, talk to the angels.
Yes, please.
You won't look like a nut. I do it all the time.
Yeah, I'm crazy too. Well, we're in good company, my darling.
We're in good company.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. But talk to them, pray to them, ask for guidance, and they will be there. Just clear your thoughts. Don't expect an outcome. Just allow symbols and pictures and words to come to you. And it's very subtle. When we first begin this work, it's very subtle because we expect it to be a certain way, don't we?
Oh, we do. You kind of do. But, it's funny. Even this afternoon, somebody I know called me. They were having a huge problem. And they were going on and on about the problem. And I just said, okay. And then I was like, I've got so much on my plate. And I said, Angels, just do me a favor. Go take care of her because I need to sort it out.
Yes.
Do you know I got a call right before we went on the show? Everything is perfectly fine now.
Yeah, I would believe
I had to laugh about that. I said,
you do.
Thank you, Angels. Thanks for sorting that one out.
Yeah. I've done a similar thing actually just in the last couple of days where there's been quite a crazy situation going on with somebody I know. And I've just put it out there last night. I was exhausted and I thought, I'm kind of sick of this. Right. And anyway, I just said, all right, angels, whoever you are, you know what that person wants. Please provide it in the best favorable outcome you can. And then I just switched off and we shall see how that unfolds, but it's too much.
It's too much of the mind. It goes into because the question is, can you ask other people to be helped by angels? Yes. I constantly am. Oh, send the angels over there. She needs them or he needs them or constantly I do that. And yes, if you are unemployed, ask for angels to help. If you are financially stressed, ask for angels. I have seen miracles with angels coming to people in their time of need.
Their darkest hour.
In their darkest hour. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing. Do you know what else I found the other day? Now, I don't know what you think about this, and I'll put them, and it's probably going to be backwards, but
female archangels. Well, tell us all about that.
Now, I'm going to crack these open, and I might do a few lives.
Wait, did you say cracked open? I'm sorry. What was that again?
I mean, really?
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. I'm from Hollywood.
Around.
What can I say?
They're hanging out. They're hanging out. Oh, my God. Kelly, I can't beat that one. Let me see.
Well, no, but female archangels, of course there are female archangels.
Yes. And I found it.
Of course.
I saw these only a week or so ago. I've barely opened them. Of course, I can't get. Oh, yes.
Well, you know what, Janelle? Maybe I'll cover the male archangels and you cover the female archangels.
Well, I can delve into it. So it's
I think that would be really great.
Yeah. I have to say it's a new thing, and look, I haven't even opened them yet.
Ooh, so how beautiful!
We'll crack the cards.
Crack the cards.
Beautiful.
They're beautiful.
Now, this one is, and they call them archaea. I think they're instead of archangels, they're called archaea.
Oh, okay. And is this a card for everybody?
Yeah, yes. Well, this is the first card. So this one is lead with faith. Oh my God, where am I?
Okay.
So, with confidence.
I love this. Faith.
Aren't they beautiful?
Well,
so I'm going to play with them and see what if we, and they have the male archangel with them. So for every female, there's a male. So,
there's a counterpart.
Yeah, it's lovely. So let's just see. I'll just, do whatever. Okay, so we've got the first card is Archangel Barakeel. Have you heard of him, my darling?
I have not.
And that is live outside the lines. So that is the first one. So I'm going to offer you that in connection with our course and all the things that we've been talking about now. Yeah. So live outside the lines. Think outside the square.
The box.
So to speak. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and then we have well, gosh, where is it? Here she is. Archaea, freedom, enliven your senses. So that's pretty nice, isn't it?
I love that. Beautiful.
So we're going to think outside the square, open your world, and we're going to enliven the mind, enliven the senses, and allow the thoughts to come forward.
I love that.
I think they're kind of fun. So I thought I might do a couple of live sessions over the next few weeks on my page and see what happens.
I think that's wonderful. I think you should.
Yeah, they're great.
Because the more you do that, the more the angels are around and playing.
Exactly.
And I think that would be a
and
wonderful
that's the playfulness
thing.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it just caught my attention again, only a week or so ago.
See?
While we're in the midst of our angelic
Wow.
realm, and suddenly I thought I have to buy those.
Oh, I love that. I mean, everybody who's going to be taking our class, maybe pay attention to any of the angel messages that all of a sudden appear. Now, our class is not until December 6th, but it'll be fun when we do the class. If anybody wants to talk about how many angel experiences they may have had, or I don't know, just anything could pop up for you. I mean, it's an interesting time for that.
It sure will now. And of course, we're talking about it now. So everybody will be aware of it now. So, I think in preparation, I don't want to go into meditation or anything now, but I think to find some little steps leading up to the class.
That'd be great. Yes.
You could kind of ready yourself by sitting in a quiet space, and you have to find that. And so just sit in a quiet space, close your eyes, and I like to put my feet flat on the ground because it's really important as you breathe to bring the Earth Mother, to allow Gaia to rise within your thoughts and within the energetic field. So I like to squish my feet right down into the soils of Mother Earth and allow that grounding and that beauty and reassurance of her, because she's going through the stuff too. Don't forget. And so anytime I meditate or whatever it is that I do, I make sure I ground. That's really important. And then I just start taking a breath, close my eyes, ground myself to the earth, and just breathe in beautiful, clean, fresh air and just let it go. And we just let all that go. Don't even think about it. You're just going to settle yourself from all the daily grind and all the muck of the mind. So we take another breath in. And while we're doing that, we're slowing down and out. We just start to relax even more and more into the chair, into the senses, the room around you. And we start to imagine, see or feel that beautiful air coming in with a green light, if you like, or a golden light. And you just imagine that. It doesn't matter. And I'm breathing in that beautiful cleansing light or that healing light of green, and I'm allowing that to move straight to my heart space, my heart chakra, in the center of your chest. Imagine, see or feel that. And the more you do that, just allow it to come to rest, bring your mind to rest, and all the muck of the mind, you shift into the heart space. You just imagine that. And you feel that serenity, you feel that comfort, and almost like cradling a baby in your arms. There's a beautiful sense of serenity and beauty that comes into that. And as I just bring my breath into a natural rhythm, I relax even more, and I imagine, see or feel that beautiful golden green color coming to light in my chest, and it expands, and I feel safe in that space. I am safe, and I am at one with God. I am at one with peace and serenity. And I move around that thought for a little while in an infinite fashion. And I imagine and I see it and I feel it expanding all around me. And I breathe in the beauty of love. And my crown chakra is open and accepting and understanding of more things on heaven and earth than we could all imagine. And so, kind souls, rest yourself in this space, in this color, in this womb of light. Be embraced by the angelic realm. Think of yourselves as more of a vibration or a consciousness, not of a person, a human. Allow your thought to expand and release the pressure of the body, and be at peace within this space of serenity. as though you're in a big bubble, a big golden bubble of beauty, and it lifts like a helium balloon. It's the most majestic thing you'll feel and sense and know about yourself, as an infinite ball of light, vibration, a dimensional being of extraordinary measure. And your heart will rise and shine and bring forward the angelic being that stands with you right now. Imagine, see, or feel that being enveloping you in their color, in their moment, in their understanding of who they are and how they reach toward you and offer you support. Consent to the beauty of the angelic being. Feel them within you, your senses, your understanding. It is healing and blessed. And the angel produces a thought, a word, a symbol of appreciation. It's there now. Take it with you and give thanks. For the breath you take with every angel that walks beside you, you will see another, more sparkling, more radiant, more glorious than ever. And your being, your innate human being, will rise to the occasion, and your soul will surely shine. So as you take another breath in, we come back into the space of the human, but allow these senses and feelings and understanding to come back with us. Be proud of who you are. Be the light within all things. God bless. Big breath, my darlings. Big breath.
It's beautiful and very calm.
It's calm. And so I think in the lead up to what we're doing in a few weeks, just practice that. Just practice that. Just play with that and feel the serene essence of the angelic support. And that will put you in a good space for what we're going to do in a few weeks' time.
Oh, Janelle, thank you so much. That was just beautiful. And I'm so excited to be teaching this class with you.
Yeah, me too.
And everybody, that's
Me
just
too,
a little bit of what you will receive with this class on December 6th.
Yeah.
So much more. I mean, Janelle is just the perfect person to teach this class with.
We can do, as are you. We're both a good team, my darling.
Oh my gosh.
And it's December 7 in Australia.
Yes.
It will be the 7th of December, which is the Saturday, and at 11 a.m., I believe. So anyway, it's all there.
It's all there. And if they sign up on Eventbrite, it will have the time for wherever you are in the world.
Kelly's got it sorted.
I don't, but Michelle does.
Michelle's got it sorted.
Yeah, thank God she's got it sorted, as you say. So it's December 6th at in the United States.
Yep.
So
beautiful.
Well, thank you, Janelle. Thank you so much. It was so great to have you tonight. And thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for being here.
See you soon. See you on my show Thursday. And with Janelle, don't forget, you could have a session with Janelle too. She's wonderful.
Anytime.
Great medium.
We do all manner of things.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys later. Thanks, everybody.